Yes, how we doing, people? And today I'm going to be going over 5 mistakes I made as a teenager / beginner lifter. Now with this video I've tried to find the balance of mistakes I actually made, so ones that are personal to me and ones that people can find relatable as well. So hopefully I sort of hit the mark somewhere in the middle, and yeah, we'll just get straight into the mistakes I made. Okay, so the first mistake I always made was having a program that was too intense or required me to go into the gym too many days a week. Let's face it, if you're trying to do a push-pull legs in 7 days, so effectively you're working out 6 days a week, you are not going to be able to do that. Why? Because you're young, you go out with your mates, you do a lot of things outdoors, and who wants to be in the gym 6 times a week when you're young and you want to go do things? So you do not need to lift 6 times a week. I can guarantee you that if you did the right workouts and had the right sort of program split, you could easily make results for 3 days a week at the gym. Now with that being said, if you enjoy going to the gym, 4 or 5 times a week and you can stick to that, by all means go for that. But as I always advise, I would say select the number and then take off 1 day, just because we're all humans. Life happens and you want to be able to stick to your program long term, as opposed to prescribing too many days and then you're just constantly missing sessions and missing days, and it's just going to be a big mess. Okay, the second mistake that I always used to make was only having mini short-term goals and thinking of my physique only in the short term. That's almost 2 points enrolled in one, so I'm going to cover the first point first, being that, say you go, right, I've got a holiday booked in 4 months, I want to look really good for it, and then you work really hard for that 4 months, get in decent enough shape where you're happy, but then as soon as you get back from the holiday, you kind of just rinse and repeat that cycle, just don't train for the rest of the, however many months, and then it comes back round, you book another holiday and you're like, right, I've got to get in shape for this. Whereas if you just set up your training throughout the year, so that you can train frequently, you can enjoy your food, and then you can just be in shape all year, and then there's no need to do these little, intense months and then low intense months. And then the second part of that is being that, when you think of your physique in the short term, you put a lot of stress on your body, a lot of stress on your mind. So for me, I would always do these little blocks where I'd go, right, by next summer, whether that be 6 months, 8 months, I want to be in the best shape of my life, which can help some people. But for me, if I was 2 months in and I was having a bit of a downtime, I would then put the pressure on myself to be like, oh my god, I'm not going to be in good shape for this summer, what's the point? And then just bin it all off. Now what I do is I just think of my physique, in years time. So I'm 21 in 2 weeks, so all I really think about at the moment is that I'm going to be in sick shape by the age of 23. It's just a random number, you can pick obviously whatever applies to you, but for me that number sort of then keeps me in line with, trusting the process, trusting my plan, and just getting on with it. And if I do have a bad week, then it's like, hey, I've still got plenty of time to achieve that goal. So yeah, just don't put too much pressure on yourself in the short term, and just set yourself longer term goals to just enjoy your training and reach your goals. Okay, and the third mistake I made, which is going to seem like a very basic one, but not eating enough protein. Now a lot of products nowadays will be branded as high protein, but realistically a lot of them, there's no set number that high protein has to mean. So you could have a bar that has 8 grams of protein and it's described as high protein, when really, for me, myself, I need to be eating 180 grams of protein. So without tracking your protein, you're then going to look at that high protein bar and be like, oh, well, if I have like 1 or 2 of them a day, I'm going to be smashing it, when realistically you're not at all. So if you're not sure where to start, where to put your protein amounts, how much you should be eating, a good base to start is if you calculate your body in pounds and then do 0.8 grams per pound to 1 grams per pound. So let's say you're a 160 pound male, you want to be eating roughly 145 grams to 160 grams of protein, and that will be a very good baseline for you to start, and that will ensure that once you're training, you're breaking down those muscle fibers and you're actually being able to repair them, get them stronger, and just make gains, because that's what we're all here for. Okay, the fourth mistake I made was not enjoying my training and feeling like I had to do certain workouts or certain exercises in order to make progress. Now you've all heard the saying, there is more than one way to skin a cat, and the exact same applies to weightlifting and training. So when you see people saying you must do squats, you must do deadlifts, you must train legs 3 times a week to see improvements, or any sort of statements like that, most of the time they are false. And what I would find myself doing personally is being married to these sort of methods and married to certain exercises. So for so long, I used to do squats when I didn't really enjoy them. It would take a lot of energy out of me throughout the week. So I just took them out, and you know, I've seen more progress in my legs than I ever have before. So that sense of guilt when people tell you that you have to be doing certain exercises, don't get me wrong, you should be going through certain planes of movements. So if someone tells you you have to do squats and you go to the gym at peak hours and your gym's only got one squat rack and you end up just waiting around for 20 minutes when you get there to then get on the squat rack, is it really worth it? Probably not. Is there alternatives you can do? Absolutely. Yeah, please do not be married to any sort of method or exercise. So if you enjoy doing CrossFit and you see good progress with that, stick to it. Obviously, you know, be reasonable. Don't be doing anything stupid or anything that will get you injured. This applies to all the categories. If you enjoy doing MMA and you get in shape from that, then do that as your focus. If you enjoy bodybuilding, you know, if you just enjoy doing your basic upper lower, whatever you enjoy doing is most likely what you're going to stick to. So yeah, just pick that and stick with it and enjoy your training. The fifth mistake I made as a teenage lifter was using genetics as an excuse or a way to hide my insecurities. You know, naturally I'm a very skinny guy, and let's face it, I've been training for probably 3 years seriously, and a lot of people will make more progress than me in 1 year than I have in these 3 years, because I accept that, you know, my genetics aren't that great in terms of bodybuilding, in terms of getting bigger, putting on weight. But I don't let that hold me back. You know, at the end of the day, this is my life, this is my body, I've just got to deal with it. You know, life is just about dealing with the cards you're dealt sometimes, and in my case it would be so easy to go, you know what, I've always got skinny arms, I'm never going to get them big, fuck it, I'm not going to train them, or fuck it, you know what, it's just how I am, there's no point trying to change because that's just the genetics I've been given. Or you can go, right, I know this is a weak point of mine, this is something I want to improve at, let's get better at it. So for me, I've been training arms a lot more, and in the sort of, you know, 4 or 5 weeks that we've had gyms open now, I've definitely seen a lot of improvements in my arms, even across the years. When I look back at old photos, I see how skinny my arms are, and even now I still feel that they are skinny, but compared to what I was before, it's a world apart. So yeah, don't let your genetics be used as an excuse for you not to improve on something. You know, we all have certain areas that we struggle with, but like I said, this isn't a way to go, oh, I'm just that, and that's it. So yeah, stop being a pussy, just get on with it. You know, we all have weak points, so just get better at them. You know, accept that they're a weak point, but don't let it accept it to the point where you just don't do anything about it. Anyway, that's all from me. So it was just a quick little video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and that's all from me in a bit.